and the session storage in JavaScript. So the web storage, they said web storage is a JavaScript browser that provide um, that provide a place where we store data locally and securely within a user's browser. And then they said in this storage, we have two types. We have local storage and we have session storage. The first one is session storage. So session storage object, it stores data that persists for only one session of an opened tab. In other words, whatever that gets stored on the window storage session storage object will not disappear when we reload the page. And then the local storage, it stores data that persists when user close the browser tab. In other words, this storage will not disappear during the page reloading and also reopening of a page, or when it's closed, it will still be there. And then the computer will only delete the storage when the content gets cleared through JavaScript or when the browser cache gets cleared. And then now we're gonna see how we access the session and the local storage object. We can access these by using the same technique as we would use when we access regular JavaScript objects. And then we can also access it by using web storage built-in interface. And then we're gonna check what are the web storage built-in interface. The web storage built interface are recommended tools that read and manipulate browser and local storage objects. And then there are six types, which are set item, key, get item, length, remove item, and clear. And also we had to check what is web storage set method. And then this method, it stores the key and the value arguments inside the specified web storage object. And then the syntax of set item, it accept two required arguments. And then we went through the key method. The key method retrieves a specific web storage item's name, and the key method also accepts one required argument. And then we went to go and check what are the get item method. This method retrieves the value of specified web storage item. And then next we had to check what is the storage length property. This one returns the number of properties in the specified web storage. And then the remove item, this one removes property from specified web storage. And then we also went to check the clear one. The clear deletes all the items of specified web storage. And then we also had to check. So Sharon, you can take from here, where now we are in the exercises of this storage. You can just explain what's needed to be done, and then we're gonna just explain everything on the code when we get through the document. Sharon.
Okay, so as you've explained before that, all the topics that we've done are are leading us to be able to edit the code that we've been given. So as you can see on our VS Code, this is do you mind clicking on the link that takes us to the
Okay.
code? Yeah, you passed it. Go a little bit up. There it is.
This one? No, it's not this one. It has
Yeah.
to be this one. Let me check this one. Yeah, it has to be this one. Yeah, it's this one. Should I make it bigger? You can see.
That's fine. I can see.
Okay.
So over here, we've been given an example of how the code should be, which is the actual code. So this code has resulted into the right panel on the right side of the page, which is the local storage to-do list, and the session storage to-do list, which are the two. So here we're creating a to-do list um, interface which the user can interact with. So the first code that we've been given over here is a code that allows the the session storage to-do list panel to it actually activates it. So if we go to our VS Code, um, we can actually see that this first part of our code is for our session storage.
Yeah.
As you can see, all the way down to line, you can continue going down.
Line 11, the sessions. Okay. No.
Yeah, and then this is the function that allows the the input which the user has put into the user input box to appear. So yeah, you can continue going down. So yeah, it ends at line 48. So this is the code that activates the session storage to-do list up until from line 1 up until line 48. So now we were required, if we go to the exercise on the tutorial, let's go to the exercise. Yeah. Prevent the session pans to do items from disappearing whenever user reloads the browser. So now that is what we're going to do in a second, and then prevent the local session to do item from disappearing whenever. So we should do the same for the session pan and the local session as well. So now auto display the session sections previously added task on page reload, and then auto display the local session previously added task on page reload or browser open. So yeah, that is what we're going to do right now. So if we go to our VS Code, we copied the first code and used the same code for our local storage code to activate our local storage panel, which were already given. So if we run our code, which is what we'll be doing in a second. So as you can see, if we enter a a verb, the verb sing, yeah. If we add it, there it is. So we've added the verb to our to-do list. And if we do the same for a session or session storage, it's also going to appear, which means we've put the right code which activates the user interface, the user um, interference with the program. So now if we go back to our code, now we're going to be looking at the disappearing and appearing of the information that we've entered. So if we go to the bottom of our local storage code, so here we were asked to create a store value function. So in this store value function, a store value function and a get stored value function. So the store value function is the function which stores the items that we have listed on our to-do list. And then the function get stored valued is the function that keeps whatever we have stored in our store value function and returns it even after we refresh the page. So we only made this function for our local storage panel. So
Yes.
if we run it again, then that is exactly what you're gonna see. Yeah. So if we refresh, yeah, we can just add a bit more um, things to do.
Yes. So you're not ready.
Okay, refresh it. And then if we click on our add task, you can see that has been added. And this has been added as well because as we've been asked in the code on the tutorial code, they asked us to do it for both of them. But if you can remember what the the the
Document.
the document said, it said that the only way you can get rid of input information on the session storage is by closing the browser. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to close the browser and see if it actually works.
Okay.
Mm. So just add task.
Yes.
And there we go.
It is
You can
working.
see it working perfectly. So yeah,
Okay.
I
So
think mm,
we got everything that was needed, and then just to finish off with the document, and this is what they just explaining how to prevent the storage to how to make the storage um, clear things when we close and reload, and we already explained it. We do this through cookies, and we explained it on the code, and we showed it by running our code. And then so the main big issue here was to be aware that was to make our code that was given that we can add as many tasks as we can on the local and on the session, but then every time if we close our running page, the session storage must not come back, but the local storage remains as it is. And that was the task of this tutorial one, to make the
and
session storage to disappear.
yeah, and just one more thing to add on top is somebody would ask the question of how would you clear your local storage list if you want to start afresh? So we would go to our code online, go a little bit down. Yeah, like down to the local, at the bottom of local,
And it's gonna be
there.
line, is it this
Yeah,
one?
yeah, I think it's that one. Yes, it is. So if you want to clear your local storage list on the browser, then you're going to have to, they say there's only two ways of doing it. It's either by clearing the browser, but if you clear the browser and it still doesn't work, then you have to deal with it through JavaScript. So this is the easiest way that we found, which was easier for us to do it. So as you can do it, Kudo, you can just clear up
uh,
over there
is it on
on
this one
line
or line 117?
117.
So you're just gonna mark this and remove it and have
And
some
then,
space, and then we can refresh, and then there it is. So this is the
yeah,
one of the two ways that you can clear through JavaScript, and we thought this is the easiest and fastest way. If we wanna bring it back, we can just we can just um, we can just re
just put it
type,
back.
yeah, just put it back, and yeah, so we can just put it back on the code sweet sweetly store, and it will. So now when we run our things and refresh, we will find everything there. If we can just add for the last time task, there it is. And
Okay, yeah, it's
that was
working.
it for tutorial one. I was with Sharon. We were both drivers and we were both navigators. Thank you.